right? And so then this is such a great quote from Greitens. It's the most Eric. So basically, this dude's shaking Eric Greitens down in order to get his help to become Secretary of the Navy. And Eric Greitens, this is why I love Eric Greitens. If you don't love Eric Greitens, you just don't have a sense of humor. So after he texts this dude wanting to be Secretary of the Navy. And again, maybe Eric Greitens would be a great one. You all have your own opinions about Greitens. I have mine. Good, bad, whatever. I don't know enough about Secretary of the Navy to know if Eric Greitens is qualified or would even be considered. I have no idea. Just don't know much about it. It does seem like that might, I assume that's a stretch, but Eric Greitens is an ambitious dude, so whatever. If he were to be picked by Secretary of the Navy and all that, good for him, man. I believe you should be able to move on with your life after a mistake. I'm more than most people you probably talk to. So, but this is my favorite thing. This is why I love Eric Greitens. This is why I love Eric Greitens. After he's shaken down, he rats this Boris dude out to the Trump people. And it's a bunch of blah, blah, blah. And then his last sentence is, this created a sense of unease and pressure on my part. That's why I love you, Eric Greitens. There's just no, for Eric Greitens to say, Kelton, this is what he said. This is what he literally put in the sworn affidavit. This created a sense of unease and pressure on my part. I mean, I love him. I love him. Everything he does is just interesting. Even this, how amazing. How amazing. Now, if I had to guess, Trump ain't going to like a narc, right? I've met Donald Trump once. I do not know Donald Trump, but I have a sense of him like everybody else does, and I have a feeling that he's probably not that much on a narc here. But they say he's real sensitive to people making money off him, but that's politics. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just the way politics has been forever. If you can have access to a decision maker, it's something you'll play upon. This Boris dude sounds like he was just doing the normal thing, probably, but maybe not that well. I would highly doubt Eric Greitens is your next Secretary of the Navy, but that's not the kind of thing they asked me about. Kelton, anybody ask you your thoughts on that?
Not usually, no.
Boris it's not Epstein. That's the guy with the island of stuff. It's not that. Epstein. Again, I probably should know how to say his name. I have not heard of him until this, but I'm sure he's. Everything says he is legitimately close to Trump. It's a weird world, man. That's a weird world. The Trump world is unique. The voters wanted it unique. What'd you think of Matt Gaetz, Kelton?
I'm not a huge fan.
Okay, but I mean either. However, when he was up for that attorney general job, there was a whole deluge of stuff. There's memes. My daughter has got me into scrolling through these video clips, which is a terrible, terrible idea if you actually want to accomplish anything with your life. So anyhow, what I saw was this clip, Kelton, where he goes, the women at abortion protests are ugly. He said some more things, but essentially he did not like their appearance, and which is a jerk thing to say, and I get it. But then the second part he said, so this reporter's like, did you say that women at these protests are what he said? He called him a few names. He goes, yeah, I said that. And then the reporter follows up with a very liberal reporter question. Well, what would you say to people that were offended by that, which every reporter obsesses about who's offended and who's not. And you know what he said, Kelton? This is my favorite line. And I don't really particularly care for Matt Gaetz, but this was a great line. When she said, what would you say to the people that are offended by your comments? He looked her straight in the eye and said, be offended. I thought it was great. If I'm him, I play that on loop at a confirmation hearing. I really have never liked him until I saw that. That is what the world needs. Scott Faughn's opinion, what this world needs, is the next 50 times some snowflake is offended for some grown-up to look them deep into their soul, deep, deep, deep down where it counts, and say, be offended. Be offended. Cry about it and see if anyone cares. The problem with this world is too many people walk around worrying about offending folks. And Kelton, with that, we have a major announcement. We have two major announcements. Number one, we're going to do let's do some midweek updates next week, kind of make up for some lost time. Is that all right with you, Kelton?
Yeah, I can make it work.
Let's do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Is that cool? At least Monday, Tuesday.
Well, it works for me.
On Tuesday, I'm going to introduce you to somebody new. Big announcement. We got some cool stuff happening. He's actually, if sometimes when you work with someone, you have expectations, they start exceeding them greatly. I'm like, as excited as I am for whatever Casey's cooking on Thursday, I'm actually more excited. And I'm excited to go to the tree lighting in the plaza Thursday night. Black Friday shopping does not excite me, but, whatever. Me and Gussie will go do something. Saturday, the Mizzou game, I'm going to go. I'm excited about that. I'm more excited about Tuesday's midweek update, Kelton. A week from today. Let's do high noon. How about that?
I'll put it on our calendar.
I am really, really excited about to introduce you to somebody that's going to be a big part of what we do. Already becoming a big part quickly. I am thrilled. So we'll have a midweek update Monday. We'll have a guest Tuesday. Big announcement. However, speaking of be offended, we have a great thing. Alex Bryant, KWTO, that I do every Monday morning, keeping watch over the Ozarks. I talked to him a lot about the DEI. Kelton, we did the DEI investigation, right? We had the clue board. We should put the clue board up in here. I mean, that was one of our dope things. People talk to me about that all the time.
Yeah, we'll have to find space for it first.
That's a fact. So it's funny that you don't see legislators all that much in the interim. So when they come to the Capitol for whatever orientation or for meetings, I run into folks. Everybody talks about the clue board. So I thought, here's the thing. I've been watching Kehoe announce his cabinet picks. I've seen him keep several of Governor Parsons' cabinet picks. Chris Chin, Trevor Foley, Dan Hogg. I mean, the OA commissioner. That dude, he keeps out of the news, but that's kind of good in that role. Zeller's a very competent dude, very nice guy. I assume Wayne's back, Wallingford if he wants to be. Chris Chin, I don't think the director of insurance is coming back, but that was easy, right? I wrote a column this week. Everybody knew. I mean, she doesn't show up to work now. I'm not sure she'd be in the office any less if they just quit paying her, like Milton on Office Space, right? Just fix the glitch, So, anyhow, she'll be back in Georgia before long, and I say good for the people of Georgia. Here, Missouri salute you. In my Dave Marshak, Missouri Sheriff Yete, he sent me. Here's to you, to the Peach State. I would say take her back, but she never really came here. So, I mean, there you are. To the Georgians out there. So I decided we were talking about I have a theory about politics. To quote the great American philosopher Stone Cold Steve Austin, DTA, don't trust anybody. Don't trust him. When Donald Trump says, if you vote for me, I'm going to get rid of DEI, don't trust him. Eric Schmidt says, vote Republican and we're going to get rid of DEI, don't trust him. Mike Kehoe looks you in the eye and says, in my administration, this is not what working men and women of the state want. We're getting rid of this. Don't trust him. Every member of the supermajority, that a supermajority of this state voted to send to the legislature, every one of them say, we're getting rid of DEI. Don't trust them. DTA. And I will add one, Kelton. I will not just say DTA. No, Kelton. I will say DTARs. Don't trust any Republicans. Don't trust any of them. Where's my man? Up there. The elephant. Don't trust him. And it's not that they lie. That's what a lot of people say. I don't buy. Look, you can have your own opinion, and I'm wrong a lot. But I'll tell you my opinion is not that anybody lies to you. It's the priority, right? If you don't rattle the cage, it's not that anybody becomes pro DEI. It's just that it's not the priority, right? It's just not that they have. When you're governor, especially. And toward the end of session, when you're a legislature, you've got 1,000 fires, right, all around you. And you put them out as fast as you can, and it's very hard to keep the initiative and to keep your priorities in line. Also, and that's where we come in. If you voted for the Republicans expecting these things, you have to demand them. And you have to be rational and strategic about them. Or it just falls down their protest. It's not that anybody's lying to you. It's just they have a big priority over here that somebody else has been effective. And also, this dumpster fire of a department is not just the fault of a director that doesn't show up to work who lives in Georgia. It's not just the fault of a left-wing number 2, John Rehagen. It is the fault of the governor. It is the fault of the attorney general. It is the fault of the legislature. It is the fault of Cindy O'Loughlin. It is the fault of Tony Luchtenmeyer. It is the fault of John Patterson. It is the fault of Alex Riley. It is the fault of Chris Lonsdale. Go all the way down the list to the newest. It is the fault of every single person that's not only served in government. I'll give you another one. It is the fault of Kelton. It is not the fault of the rest of the media because they are for this stuff, so they would applaud it. It is the fault of me. I failed you, and it's the fault of you for not paying attention. These folks hide in plain sight. John Rehagen gets awards from the most liberal left-wing group you could imagine that does the DEI. They go to the DEI conferences. They hide in plain sight. It is not their fault that they're left-wing Marxist. It is your fault and my fault that we haven't called it out. I am not a blame guy. There is plenty to go around, and I'll own it. I'll own mine. Kelton, I'm going to ask him to own mine too. But it is you. If you're watching this, it is your fault that that place became such a raging dumpster fire that is an embarrassment to this state. It is your fault and mine and every single person we voted for. Not Flat Doug's fault. He's good. Sorry, you're good, Doug. But everyone else. I saw the Post-Dispatch come out and basically say they should keep continuity there. Of course the Post thinks that. They're left-wing lunatics. So here we go. So I decided there was 2 ways you're going to be able to tell if they're serious about this DEI thing. Number 1, the Missouri Senate has to confirm the next director. Will they confirm a director without committing to get rid of John Rehagen? If they don't promise that, the new director is wolves in sheep's clothing. He'll be terrible. She'll be terrible. If they don't make that public pronouncement, the Missouri Senate says, you're not getting confirmed. Not happening. No one gets confirmed unless you promise to drain that swamp. And you drain that swamp by going to the biggest left-wing Marxist promoter there in John Rehagen and say, time to go, man. You've had a great career. Congratulations. I'll pay for the cake. Set the party. See you later, man. None of this 1,000-hour racket that people do. Thank you for your service. You've been great. Enjoy your retirement. You've earned it. So if the new director doesn't publicly commit to that and your state senator votes to confirm them, you were suckered, you were screwed, you were taken, and you should rake him or her over the coals because he or she suckered you. Suckered you with all that Republican talk. Didn't mean any of it. They meant none of it. If they vote to confirm a director that hasn't promised to fire Rehagen, all the talk about being against woke stuff, you're a fool, you're a sucker, hold them accountable. The second thing is going to be Mike Key will have a decision because I would assume she's leaving into the year. Who's the interim? Who's going to be the interim director? The interim director will serve until the new director is confirmed. And if the new director decides he wants to be a Marxist and will not commit to governing in a common sense Missouri Republican way, then it might be a while for one's confirmed. And in that case, who the interim is. And this is Mike Kehoe's decision. Mike Kehoe gets to decide who this is. Now, Eric Greitens, a left-wing snitch, picked John Rehagen because, of course, he would. Eric Greitens was at Obama rallies 4 years before he was sworn in as governor. I mean, he's what he is, right? He's what he said he is. He was a elitist, East Coast. What was he in, like, the Time magazine, top 100 liberals or influencers or same thing? He was a big-time Rhodes Scholar, White House feller. He was a feller at the White House, Kelton. I don't know what the hell that means, but Eric Greitens was your most elitist, top of the food chain, went to the fancy colleges. He looks down on you if you lived on a gravel road. He picked John Rehagen to be his interim director because, of course, he did. They see the world exactly the same. I don't think Mike Kehoe will probably have that many decisions similar to Eric Greitens. Do you, Kelton? Somebody tells me probably not.
Probably not.
Just going to lean toward maybe not. If Mike Kehoe picks John Rehagen, then it is an embracement of wokeism. It is what it is. The scoreboard. That's what I like about politics. There's a scoreboard. Mike Kehoe's told you on television, told on the radio. He actually, on Alex Bryant's show, thanked me for the work we've done, Kelton, which I was very grateful for. One man's investigation is Kelton and I's clue game. So if he keeps Rehagen, you red flags. I'm not dramatic. I'm like, oh, Mike Kehoe's woke or Rhino, all that crap. No. Red flag. Major, major red flag. And if the legislature doesn't immediately start cutting that budget, I'll be shocked. I think probably the NAIC, if Rehagen is still there in January, when the Senate Appropriations Committee meets, which they really, I talked to Lincoln last night, they fire that up pretty quick into session. I would say there's an insurance hearing very early on if he's still there. And then I just think that if they're tired of the wokeness and they mean it, there's two ways to watch. Number one, will the Senate confirm someone that hasn't committed to drain this swamp and fire Rehagen? If they are, they're puppets, they're weak, and they lied to you, and you're a sucker. And you either hold them accountable or you just they'll do it again. Number two, who does Mike Keogh pick to be the interim director of a totally failed department? There's a lot of great people over there. I have heard from look, I just want you to know, Kelton, can I take a moment for a point of personal privilege?
Your point of personal privilege is granted.
I have gotten so many texts. I've gotten stopped on High Street. I've gotten Facebook from people's cousins or whatever messages. I appreciate. There's a lot of good people in the Department of Insurance. They just want to do their job. They don't want to have some war with rural Missouri. They don't want to run certain insurance companies out of business. And they don't want to do this woke crap. They just want to do their job. And if you get rid of that top layer and you install leadership that just wants to do the job, man, they just want to do the job. They ain't looking to change the world. They ain't looking to be We Are the World. They ain't looking to have some social experiment. They want to do the damn job. There's so many people over there that just want to do the damn job, man. They just want to do the damn job. They don't want to do all this woke left-wing crap. And please, when I talk about this, I try to look, I'd be specific with names because I don't believe it's the entire department is just a bunch of insane leftists. No. My belief is the vast majority, 90% of the people there, just want to do the damn job. But the people at the top, they don't. They have their own grudges, their little pettiness. It is exact. Every reason you voted for Trump, that department is it. So if Mike Keogh installs an interim director or names a director, permanent one, to get confirmed, who says, I'm gonna drain some of this crap, I'm going to get rid of Rehagen, I think that entire department fixes itself so quick, Kelton. I think if Keogh picks a person, man, woman, whatever, and they say, hey, I want you here, if you're doing a bunch of woke stuff, stop, tell me what it is, let's end it. If we're doing these little petty things that try to hurt one company, picking winners and losers, we're going to stop. We're just going to do the damn work. I think that department will rise up and it'll fix itself. It'll fix itself. Most people, I have talked to so many people over there, Kelton. I bet just conservative, probably 20 people that work for that department or in other departments that work alongside it. And the truth is, every one of them have horror stories to tell, and every one of them end it with the department's good, the leadership is the problem. And I think that's right. I just think that's right. So, Kelton, I think what might be nice, what might be a nice thing is if we took a step back here, right, Kelton, and we reminded folks what this is all about while these decisions are being made. And it is Christmas time, correct, Kelton?
Soon, yes, it'll be Christmas time.
See, I think it's the holiday season, maybe. Is that cool?
I think that's fair. I think too many people just skip over Thanksgiving.
Okay. So we're not going to start today then. What we're going to do is Kelton and I are going to, and along with Alex Bryant at KWTO, we're going to bring to you what we call, Kelton, could you bring it up on the screen here, the 12 days of DEI. Just in case, after all this time, you think, Faughn, are you just pulling my leg? How bad is it over there? How really bad is it? Well, folks, welcome to the 12 days of DEI, starting at 7:30 Monday morning on KWTO. I am going to share with Alex Bryant the first of our 12 days of DEI at DEI at DCI. They actually call it the Department of Commerce and Insurance. So the 12 days of DEI at DCI, I'm going to walk you through 12 different examples every morning. We're going to start the first one at 7:30. It'll be public. Kelton, can we make these public at 10 a.m.?
We sure can.
Every day for 12 days at 10 a.m., we will bring you the 12 days of DEI. There you see Mr. Rehagen, who brought you the DEI to start with, all wrapped up and chef's kiss to John Combest, the greatest. Now, it might be because I like Stone Cold Steve Austin and I've been bringing this issue up, so I'm a little biased, and I like John. His clip he put together of Clory Lindley Myers and Rehagen talking some liberal stuff, and he would go and still go, what, DI, what? It was the greatest clip I've ever seen. Now, I'm biased, but I loved it. I actually have tried to save it. I'm going to have to ask Kelton for help on that. So we will start bringing you at 10 o'clock on our social media. I tell you what, let's do my social media. I will post one of the 12 days of DEI. Kelton, the problem we're going to have here is we're going to narrow it down to 12 things. You know, we're going to have to take the 800 things we've got in tips, and we're going to have to somehow condense them to 12. I'm not total. We'll figure it out. That's our cross to bear. So, folks, if you've forgotten what this is about, if you've forgotten why you voted for Trump, if you've forgotten why you voted for Kehoe, why you voted for your state senator, if you've forgotten why you voted for Jamie Berger or Curtis Gregory or Mike Henderson, if you've forgotten why you voted for Brad Hudson or Rick Bratton or Mike Moon, I'm going to remind you of what you sent them here to Jeff City to do. So, and hence I bring you John Rehagen presents the 12 Days of DEI at DCI. Start Monday, 7:30. Alex Bryant, bright and early. We'll have the first one out. It'll be on our website by 10 every day, Kelton. We could say by 10, right?
Yeah, I can make it work.
All right. So that starts. No show Sunday, but we're doing midweek updates Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Huge announcement Tuesday. Monday we start the 12 Days of DEI, and then the big thing, Kelton. Could you sit in this chair right here? Drum roll, please. The unveiling of the beardless Kelton Turner right here at Thanksgiving. Look at this baby-faced jewel. Look at him. If you've met the entire time I've known Kelton, he's had a glorious masculine beard, far greater than anything I could ever grow. He told me he was going to shave this, then he put it off. Monday he comes in, I swear to God, I didn't know who this person was. We've got to put two pictures up side by side. Folks, today on my social media, you watch. We're gonna put before and after. Look at this beautifully shaven baby face, all cleaned up for the holidays. Kelton, can people hear us on this if I go like that?
They should be able to, yeah.
All right. One thing we got to do here. It's not legal yet, so I think right. It doesn't go into effect right away. So Kelton's his completely illegal sports book is open. We have Mizzou coming in at -3.5. They're given 3.5 points. What do you think? To Arkansas at home.
I'm taking Mizzou.
Of course he is. And the points?
Absolutely.
You're taking the points. You're not just okay.
Oh yeah.
You got to give the points. So you're taking Mizzou to win and the 3.5. Okay. I am taking Mizzou to win, obviously having to give the 3.5. I think they cover. Kelton has not been right yet this year on any of these bets. He's the worst bookie ever. I think that's why he's shaved, is all the people he owes money to. He's trying to skim the slip. Truman, Kelton's got your back again. So the Chiefs, they have to give 12.5 at home to the Raiders on Friday. And it's supposed to snow Saturday. So what an awesome scene at Arrowhead. Have you ever seen an Arrowhead game where the snow was? Mm-hmm. It's super cool. So 2 o'clock Friday, the Mizzou game's at 2:30 Saturday. 2 o'clock Friday, Chiefs, Raiders at home at Arrowhead, giving 12.5. You still taking the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'll have to take the Chiefs.
All right, I'm going to take the Chiefs, but not to cover.
Oh.
I don't know. Every game they've played feels like it's been close.
That's true.
All right, Kelton, of the things I'm thankful for is getting to work with you. Thank you for everything. Every compliment we get about the podcast, about the show, it is all a reflection of your work. And now that Now that I can compliment you without that beard, I can read your face and see if you actually wanted the compliment. Thank you for everything. I'm very thankful to work with you.
I'm thankful to work here as well.
And you can see it's cold now. He's got the sock hat back, the very techie sock hat. So, from a very techie, clean-shaven Kelton Turner, from Truman the Tiger, from myself, happy holidays, and we will see you Monday for This Week in Missouri Politics Midweek Update.